Chapter 1345. That had originally been a cathedral for the Church of the Holy Illuminati. With the financial resources of the Church of the Holy Illuminati, the cathedral was naturally grand and magnificent. Yet, at that moment, the cathedral had raised the banners of the Church of the Fire Dragon Lord. The ones entering and exiting were all priests and believers of Wilbur's church. When Wilbur arrived at the cathedral, Carl and the others were already waiting at the entrance. There was a solemn ceremony as the crowd and the workers all welcomed Wilbur into the cathedral. Wilbur skipped the other cumbersome ceremonies and sat down in the meeting room of the cathedral with Carl and the others. "Speak," Wilbur said with a frown. Carl looked somewhat weary, and his beard was unkempt. He spoke slowly. "There's always been a religion called Pumito in Millerton. It's not that large, but it's been here for a few hundred years." "Pumito?" Wilbur looked at Carl. Carl explained. "It's a word in the local ancient language. Translated, it means the Lord of a faraway universe." "The Lord of the faraway universe?" Wilbur sneered. "That doesn't sound like something good." "Pumito has quite a lot of believers locally, with Teria fully embracing the Church of the Fire Dragon Lord. They're incredibly suspicious." "You told me that the people you sent to investigate disappeared as well?" Wilbur asked. Carl nodded. "That's right. To avoid any unforeseen repercussions, we didn't directly suppress them but chose to investigate the matter instead, so the ones we sent over weren't that strong." Wilbur was silent. After a while, he said slowly, "You did nothing wrong. We can't just focus on our own development and slaughter any other teachings. That would make the people resentful, and it'll affect our development in the future." "Your Holiness, what do we do next?" Catherine asked. Wilbur looked at her. "I'll go investigate it myself." "You're going on your own?" Catherine said with some surprise. Wilbur nodded. "This is no longer a small matter. I'll go take a look myself. If there were any accidents or they just acted impulsively, I'll reason with them and punish a few individuals. However, I will destroy them if they harbor ill intentions for us." "That makes sense. Going there in person would be the fastest way to clarify the situation. If it was their doing, then eliminate them, and no one will have anything to say about it," Carl said. Wilbur stood up and said, "There's no time to waste. I'll leave right now." After that, Wilbur walked outside, and everyone followed him to the entrance of the cathedral before they watched Wilbur drive away. Wilbur had just left when a car from the presidential office arrived. Tyrone walked out of the car with Mary, walking over to the cathedral. Carl and the others went forward to greet him. "Where is His Holiness?" Tyrone said politely. Carl said, "He's gone to investigate the incident with Pumito. He just left." "That's a pity," Tyrone said as he patted Mary's head. Carl smiled slightly. "Sir, would you like to come in and have a seat?" "There's no need. Tell His Holiness that if this really is the doing of Pumito, then please punish them. The President's office will definitely support the Church of the Fire Dragon Lord," Tyrone said. Carl nodded with a smile. Wilbur drove for a day before he finally entered Millerton. Millerton was located on the northern border of Teria, a small city with a population of more than 400,000. He parked the car outside the city and walked inside. However, as soon as he entered the city, he was stopped by a girl. The girl was in her 20s and looked very beautiful. "Sir, did you just arrive in Millerton?" Wilbur nodded. The girl smiled and said, "My name is Lillian. Welcome to Millerton." "Thank you." "Sir, are you interested in joining the Pumito religion?" Lillian asked, her eyes glinting brightly.